Hi, this is Lynn Jacob of MLJ Coaching International, where I help small business owners get the fun back into their business, which causes their profits to triple. And I also help them stay focused on creating a retirement for themselves that's ready for them, should they ever decide to take retirement. Because there are so many more options than just hanging your tools in the garage and surrendering the leases on your vehicles. So yes, I work primarily with construction trade contractors, and lately I've been doing some videos for you with some training on them. One about cash flow, another one about time management, and this one today I'm going to talk about another challenge that so many people from coast to coast in Canada and in the U.S. are challenged with, and they tell me that's employees. So strategy number 5 in my 7 key strategies on which I train and coach construction trade contractors is called Empower Your Support. Lead a championship support team. And as anyone who has been at any of my seminars or who is a client of mine will tell you, I tell you right up front, in order to lead a championship support team, you must become a championship leader. Remember, and maybe you didn't see the video, but if you did, remember in the time management video where I was giving you some helpful tips on how to prioritize your activities, I encouraged you to keep track of, identify, become aware of, write down every single thing you do. What do you spend time on? Now, as you're doing this over a 2-week to 1-month period, then what I want you to do is identify to whom you can give each of those tasks that you really, truly do not need to be doing. Okay, so believe it or not, by handing this work, these tasks, these activities over to your employees, you are empowering them. Number 1, you're showing them that you trust them. And don't hesitate to tell them that. Tell them that it's been tough for you to hand over some of this stuff because you had an issue with trusting people to be able to do it well enough, and you want this to be a win-win situation for you and for them. So when you're handing over the activity, obviously you're giving training with it. So now we want to identify, how do you know if this is the right person to hand it over to or not? Well, I'm going to give you a quick and easy lesson on the type of personalities you have in your company. So we all are driven. As creatures, we are driven. We're driven to perform. We're driven to do the things that we do. And so I've come up with these, with an acronym for our drivers. We all have all 3 of them, but there's one that's dominant in each of us. So I'd like you to write this down. C-A-R, car. There are drivers, right? Make sense? Okay, C stands for control. A stands for accomplishments. And R stands for relationships. So, if you've ever heard anybody talk about one or a few of your employees as being control freaks, well, they're control driven. And the good side of that is that they will get situations under control. So, any type of activity that you're doing now that you want to hand off that needs somebody who's really concerned about things being under control, you want to hand that task over to that person, the control-driven person. Okay? Accomplishments. These people, they're not so big on the whole, control thing, and they're not so big on relationships. They're big on being able to go, check, accomplished, finished, done. So they're project-oriented people. They love to start something, and they love to see it finished. They're the sorts of people who you want to hand tasks over to that are more project-oriented. And they are great role models for other people to learn how to start, see it all the way through, and finish it. So Their follow-through is usually very good. Okay, the next one, relationships driven. Now, these people, they don't necessarily give a darn if the whole situation's under control. And as for getting things done, well, their follow-through isn't so great. But they're wonderful when it comes to people. They're relationships driven for a reason. But the thing is that they care about people's feelings a lot. Sometimes too much so, but use it to your advantage and to their advantage. You want to hand them over tasks that involve people and involve relationships. Now, there is no excuse for lack of training. When you're going to hand anything over to anyone, then you want to make darn sure that it goes with training and follow-up to the training, because we can only absorb so much each time we've got the training. So you don't just give them a whole smorgasbord, here, go do this. No, you give them enough, maybe just a little bit extra, and then you go back at it and go back at it. And patience. I know, as business owners, sometimes we don't have a lot of that. So before you go to interact with one or some of your employees, take a big, deep breath and fill yourself full of patience, because we're busy and our minds are going a mile a minute. I swear, most business owners have some form of ADD because we're so idea-oriented. But our employees are not necessarily. That's why they're our employees. So you have the right people on your team. I'm sure that's why you chose them to work for you. All you have to do is empower them. Fill them full of confidence. Show them you trust them. Be patient with them as they grow, because that's what you're doing as a leader. You are becoming a championship leader. And I'm sure that you see the spin-off of this. When you hand over so many of your tasks, then time isn't as big an issue as it has been. And when you hand over your tasks and now you're able to concentrate more on the cash flow in your business, then I don't like to say this, but you're affecting 3 birds with 1 stone. So you've got, by empowering your support team, you're leveraging yourself, you're leveraging your time, you're leveraging your energy, the tasks are getting done, the customers are being well served, and your time now is freed up to spend more time on the things you need to do to make sure that your cash is flowing in as well as flowing out. So, this is Lynn Jacob of MLJ Coaching International, and if you're at all interested in anything that any of these videos has been talking to you about, then you're going to want to contact us right away at info@MLJ Coaching International and take advantage of a very special offer that I'm making, where you can have a one-on-one coaching session with me to help you get really clear of all the crap that's on your plate that you want to get rid of, so that we can step into a cash injection, a massive cash injection into your business. Contact my team at info@mljcoaching.com. And for $147, you can spend an hour with me to identify some simple steps that need to be taken so that you can have a massive cash injection into your business. It's $147. It's pretty hard to turn down, isn't it? We'll talk to you soon.